Wow. Now that was a good ending. But before we get to that amazing, unpredictable. Okay, I thought something was wrong with the camera and the audio. Please excuse me. Before we get to what was an amazing ending to tonight's episode of Saturday Night's Main Event, one that no one saw coming, let's talk about the unpredictable opening to the show. No pun intended to Braun Breaker, but we opened up the show with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker with Penguin Heyman at ringside facing off against Sami Zayn and CM Punk in a tag team match where I thought the referee was going to throw the Penguin out, but nonetheless, that was actually nothing more than a distraction that set up for the return of Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed aligned himself with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker for whatever alliance they have going on. Now, with that happening, I'm just waiting to see when the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, shall return. That being said, let's move on to other business at hand. We have Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis, rather, that's a funny name, going up against Zelina Vega, a rematch for the U.S. Championship. Now, I say this and I mean this in a modest way, but I pledge my allegiance to the United States of Zelina Vega. I am really happy about this push she is receiving. I'm glad to see her as champion for the first time in 15 years. She is a singles champion. We saw her reign as Queen of the Ring about 3 years ago. We saw her as women's TNA Knockout Tag Team Champions with Rosita and TNA over a decade ago. However, in WWE, she is singles women's U.S. champion, and I'm loving the push that they are giving her right now. In other action tonight, we would also see John Cena in action against childhood follower, for whatever reason he calls himself, R-Truth. R-Truth claims he actually spoke yesterday. He did his promo, and his promo actually made sense. He wasn't that much delusional as he plays the delusional role. He is not very delusional in his promo yesterday when he said that John Cena has allowed the power to go to his head. It's almost like a parody of the I word in Hollywood. I don't know if that truly exists or not, but apparently he has let power go to his head. Tonight, R-Truth came out as John Cena and did a lot of John Cena's moves. By the way, I would like to point out something that I found very hilarious. Once again, a relationship is ruined by WWE. You know, John Cena talks a lot about ruining wrestling. It's almost like WWE is ruining relationships in a joking way. Now, I know this is the era where everyone says being single is the best. If you go on YouTube and you hear anything about relationships, everyone says single life is the best and Sigma male, blah, 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 all that nonsense. But in any event, and I do believe it's nonsense, but in any event, someone had a sign in the crowd that says, I got divorced to be here tonight. You don't have to ruin relationships to show you're a wrestling fan. I'm just saying. But I did think that sign in the crowd was hilarious with John Cena making his entrance. And if I got to be honest, am I the only one that when John Cena got the world championship belt and was about to crack R-Truth over the head with it, and he chose not to, am I the only one who saw that low blow coming? I think we may as well call, I hope this is a PG thing to say, but I think we need to start calling John Cena the Invisible Ballbuster. But in any event, moving forward, the Invisible Ballbuster tonight defeated R-Truth by his invisible finishing move, which is the Invisible Nutcracker, if you will. But moving forward, Moving forward, John Cena won in a dirty fashion, then goes on to taunt Jay Uso. But before we talk about Jay Uso, let's talk about the cage match between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. I do not know why WWE decided to blur out Damian Priest taking off his outfit. I didn't see anything inappropriate happening there because I know that when they do the blur, either someone is saying something profane or someone is giving profane gestures with the hand. However, I don't see anything wrong with what Damian Priest came out. He looked like a devilish version of Batman tonight. Moving forward, great, pretty good steel cage match. A lot of the matches were shorter tonight, believe it or not, but it was the ending match that had the most interesting factors of the night. And tonight was not a bad Saturday night's main event to me, in my personal opinion, because you only have 2 hours to showcase the best of Raw and SmackDown. You have to remember that. But with SmackDown's cage match, we had Damian Priest taking a page out of The Undertaker's playbook. Excuse me. Yes, Damian Priest took a page out of The Undertaker's playbook because The Undertaker is the only other person that likes to pin a chair to the person's neck and slam them against him. He actually did that to Hulk Hogan in Judgment Day 2002. And ironically, Priest used Judgment Day tactics when he went for the Concerto, which was inspired by the man who created the whole force, Edge, aka Adam Copeland, who FTR has Judgment coming from, by the way, eventually. By the way, moving forward, Priest destroyed Drew and walked out as the victor. And this is the second time that Drew McIntyre has had a rivalry that he cannot finish. Moving forward, and by the way, what he did to Hogan at 2002's, what Undertaker did to Hogan at 2002's Judgment Day is revenge for Hulk Hogan lying on The Undertaker in 1991. Don't tell lies, people. Where I'm from, my mother taught me, spent a lot of time teaching, lying is wrong. But moving forward to the main event, we had Jay Uso coming in through the crowd versus Logan Paul. And John Cena tried to play a little mind game, saying that it would ruin wrestling, which he wants to do, if you go and lose to a YouTuber. Well, he didn't lose to a YouTuber because honestly, I thought the match was going to end when John Cena made his interference. But John Cena came out and attacked Jay Uso, only for Cody Rhodes to come back. First of all, I'm glad to see Cody Rhodes back. And also, the crowd seemed to be very happy that Cody Rhodes is back. I was wondering for a second if Cody Rhodes was going to dye his hair black and come back and turn heel because the fans turned on him. But nonetheless, that was just a weekend phase, thankfully, and we can go back to having Cody Rhodes as our favorite guy and our flagship guy for WWE. And we're going to get Cody Rhodes and Jay Uso once again versus John Cena and a YouTuber. Well, I'm a YouTuber, so I can't say anything. But John Cena, the invisible nutcracker, as I will call him, going to team with Logan Paul. By the way, Logan Paul will never associate with The Rock because The Rock cut ties with Logan after Logan did some inappropriate pictures overseas. That being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you thought about tonight's episode of Saturday Night's Main Event. Soon, Saturday Night's Main Event will go to my former hometown of Atlanta, but from now we are in Tampa. Let me know your thoughts on tonight. I'm your host, Daniel Cody, and I will see you guys next time. By the way, soon I will have to do a short about places that I think would make great WrestleMania cities to visit, since they're not going to New Orleans. But in the meantime, stay tuned for those ideas. I'll see you next time. Have a great weekend, everyone.